A man will forget what you said, forget what you did, but never forget how you made him feel. That's the kind of truth that cuts through the noise, my friends. And when it comes to love and attraction, it hits even harder. Ladies, let me drop a truth bomb right now. Physical intimacy alone doesn't make a man fall deeply for you. Sure, it feels powerful, exciting, and intense in the moment, but lasting love, that's built on a foundation far deeper, far richer than just the physical. Carl Jung said it best, when the love is real, it goes much deeper than the body. So today we're diving into the 7 essential things every man needs beyond the bedroom to fall so deeply, so irrevocably that no one else even comes close. Ready to step into that power? To own that magnetic pull that turns attraction into devotion? Then stay with me. Now imagine this. You're standing in a forest as twilight falls. The sun dips below the horizon, but you're surrounded by fireflies. Tiny lights blinking softly, gently lighting up the darkness. That glow, that's your energy after intimacy. It's not a blaze that burns out fast. It's the kind of light that lingers, that draws him in from the shadows. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to chase or plead or perform. You just have to be steady, radiant, and magnetic. And that, my friends, is what truly makes a man come back. Here's the thing. Somewhere along the way, you were told that to keep him interested, you had to play games, use physical connection as a weapon or a currency, or constantly prove your worth. But that's a lie. Real power isn't in tricks or chasing. It's in presence, authenticity, and emotional connection. When you understand this, you shift from being just the woman he shares moments with, to becoming the woman who owns his heart and mind without begging or performing. That's mastery. You see, attraction is a dance of energies, not a checklist of moves. Carl Jung believed that love is a meeting of souls, not just bodies. Every word, every silence, every glance carries meaning beneath the surface. The way you show up after closeness, the energy you carry into your own space sets the tone for everything that follows. That afterglow is your secret weapon. So if you're tired of wondering why he drifts away after the lights go down, if you want to own your feminine power in a way that keeps him hooked emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, then this message is for you. Today, we're breaking down those 7 vital things a man needs to fall deeply, not just physically, but at the soul level. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with the women who are ready to stop chasing and start commanding attention. Because what you're about to learn isn't just another dating tip. It's a shift, a transformation, a way to walk through the world that makes you unforgettable. Stay with me. This is just the beginning. Number 1, he needs you to build him up, not break him down. A man's heart is not a battlefield to be conquered with harsh words. It's a garden that flourishes under care and dies under neglect. That's the hard truth, my friends. Men aren't fragile because they're weak. They're fragile because they feel. The deeper his feelings run, the more his spirit is sensitive to the words you speak and the energy you radiate. Carl Jung taught us that energy is contagious. What you give him, he absorbs. When you build him up with genuine love, encouragement, and positivity, you spark a fire in his soul that keeps him coming back, not out of obligation, but out of devotion. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The steel doesn't become strong under blows that break or weaken it. It grows resilient through careful shaping and steady heat. Your words and energy are that forge. When you speak life into him, you strengthen his spirit, but tear him down with criticism, even honest ones, and you risk chipping away at the very thing he's trying to give you, his best self. Are you nurturing that steel, or are you wearing it down? You might wonder, but what if I'm just being real with him? What if he needs to hear the truth even when it hurts? Here's the thing, truth doesn't have to be harsh. You can be honest without being destructive. Being real isn't an excuse to be careless with his heart. Jung reminds us that what we project affects the other deeply. Negativity breeds doubt. Encouragement fosters strength. Are your words building a fortress around his heart? Or are they tearing down the walls he's trying to build for both of you? Maybe you've caught yourself slipping, speaking out of frustration, dropping jabs in moments of anger, or telling it like it is without considering how it lands. That's human, yes, but here's your call to rise above it. Become the woman who speaks life, who chooses to be the light in his darkest moments, the warmth in his coldest days. Because that light fuels greatness, it doesn't dim it. Think about the kind of love you want. Do you want a man who fears your words, who braces for criticism? Or do you want one who leans into your support, who stands taller because of your belief in him? Speak to that vision every day. Remember what Maya Angelou said: when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. If your words are the first thing he feels, make sure they show him love, respect, and strength. So my friends, it's time to check in with yourself. What energy are you sending him? Are you his champion or his challenger? Because how you build him up or break him down is the foundation of his deepest love for you. Stay with me, because next, we're stepping into the power of radical transparency and how honesty, when done right, becomes the bedrock of unshakable trust. You don't want to miss this. Number 2, transparency and honesty are non-negotiable. A man doesn't fall for the illusion, he falls for the woman who shows up as her true self. That's a reality check, my friends. Transparency and honesty aren't just nice qualities, they're non-negotiable pillars of deep connection. A man needs to see you, not the mask you put on to keep him comfortable or the version you think he wants. Carl Jung's idea of individuation tells us that real love grows from authentic self-expression, the courage to show your whole self, flaws and all, without fear. Imagine walking into a room filled with mirrors, but every mirror shows a different reflection. A mask here, a filtered version there. Confusing, right? Now picture one mirror that shows you exactly as you are, clear, raw, and real. That mirror is transparency. It's the kind of clarity that cuts through doubt and builds a foundation so solid a man can lean on it without fear of falling through. You might be thinking, but what if he rejects parts of me I'm scared to show? What if honesty pushes him away instead of pulling him closer? That's the fear that keeps many women hiding behind silence or half-truths. But here's the paradox. Hiding your truth creates walls. It builds distance. Jung said the journey of individuation, becoming whole, is about embracing every part of yourself and expressing it clearly. When you hide, you leave him chasing shadows. When you're clear, he knows exactly where you stand, and that certainty is magnetic. Transparency doesn't mean dumping every insecurity or past mistake on him all at once. It means sharing with intention and courage, creating a space where he can meet your truth without judgment. It's about breaking the code of cryptic hints and silent games that leave him confused and uncertain. Ever notice how some women drop clues expecting a man to read between the lines, only to feel disappointed when he doesn't? That's not mystery, that's miscommunication. Men aren't mind readers, they crave straightforwardness because it makes them feel safe. Think of honesty and transparency as the foundation of a house. Without a strong base, the whole structure shakes with the slightest storm. But when the foundation is clear and unwavering, the walls stand tall and the roof protects through every storm. Your clarity is that foundation, what lets him feel secure enough to invest fully, to fall deeply. Maybe you felt tempted to soften the truth to avoid conflict, or you've held back to keep the peace. But the truth is, real peace comes from real understanding. When you're transparent, you invite him into the real you, and that's the only version worth loving. So here's your invitation. Step into the power of being seen as you are. Speak with honesty, share with courage, and watch how trust blooms in that space. Because when a man feels that kind of safety with you, he doesn't just stay, he falls deeper than you ever imagined. Stay with me, because next we're going to explore how appreciation, the simple but powerful act of recognizing his efforts, turns attraction into devotion. You won't want to miss it. Number 3, appreciation, the secret fuel to his heart. A man's heart is a fire, my friends, and appreciation is the fuel that keeps it burning strong. That's no soft sentiment. It's a vital truth that many overlook in the rush of everyday life. Appreciation isn't just a nice-to-have decoration in your relationship. It's the essential energy that powers his desire, his commitment, and his willingness to show up fully for you. Carl Jung's wisdom on projection teaches us that what you genuinely express to him echoes back, amplifying his confidence and effort like a boomerang of love. Imagine this. You're tending a fire in the middle of a cold night. A single log smolders. But when you add steady kindling and gentle care, that fire bursts into warmth and light that fills the space around it. Your words of appreciation are those logs, small, consistent acts of recognition that turn his flicker into a roaring blaze. When a man feels truly seen, truly valued, he doesn't just keep trying, he wants to do more, to be more for you. But here's the catch. Appreciation is delicate. It's easy to get caught in the moment when something goes wrong, when a mistake is made, or when frustration creeps in. And many times women let those moments overshadow all the good he's done. Maybe he forgot to call back once, or maybe he slipped up on a promise, and suddenly all the months of effort seem to vanish. That's the danger zone. When you fixate on the mistake, you risk snuffing out that fire. Remember, my friends, one moment doesn't erase the bigger picture. You might ask yourself, but how do I keep appreciating when I feel hurt or disappointed? Isn't that just pretending everything's okay? No, it's not pretending. It's choosing to focus on what builds, not what breaks. Jung reminds us that projection shapes our reality. When you intentionally recognize his daily wins, no matter how small, you send a signal that his efforts matter. That signal feeds his spirit and inspires him to rise even higher. Appreciation looks like saying thank you when he does the little things, acknowledging his sacrifices, or celebrating the ways he shows up for you. It's the genuine smile when he surprises you, the heartfelt "I see you" when he's trying his best. Those moments create a feedback loop of love and effort that can carry a relationship through storms. Think of appreciation as the quiet anthem of your connection. It's the melody that plays beneath every conversation, every touch, every shared moment. Without it, even the strongest bonds start to fray. But with it, you become the woman who lights up his world, and he becomes the man who wants to keep shining for you. So here's your challenge. Shift your focus today. Look for the good, celebrate the effort, fuel that fire with gratitude, and watch how his heart opens wider than ever before. Stay with me because next we're stepping into the emotional intelligence that transforms attraction into deep, lasting love. The journey continues, and you're just getting started. Number 4, emotional awareness. Know when to speak and when to hold space. A man's heart moves to the rhythm of emotions, not just words. And knowing when to speak and when to simply hold space is the dance that turns connection into devotion. That's the real power of emotional awareness, my friends. It's not about dominating the conversation or filling every silence with your voice. It's about tuning into the subtle shifts in his energy, reading between the lines of what he's not saying, and meeting him where he is. Carl Jung's work on the shadow reminds us that we all carry unseen parts of ourselves, sometimes dark, sometimes tender, that influence how we relate to others. Emotional intelligence means being aware of your own inner landscape and how it colors your interactions. It means recognizing when he's carrying stress, when he's pulling away, or when he simply needs calm presence rather than another opinion. Imagine being the eye of the hurricane, the still point amidst chaos. When a man is overwhelmed or distant, your emotional steadiness becomes his refuge. You're not adding to the noise, not trying to fix or solve in that moment. You're just being anchored, calm, ready to support without pressure or judgment. That kind of presence is magnetic because it offers safety, trust, and a space where he can lower his guard. You might wonder, but what if I stay silent and he feels ignored? What if he needs me to step in and push through? Those are valid concerns, but emotional awareness teaches us timing. There's a time to listen deeply, to hold space without interruption, and there's a time to speak your truth with clarity and compassion. Mastering this balance means your energy never feels like a burden, but always feels like a gift. Think of it like a dance floor where you both move in sync, sometimes leading, sometimes following, but always connected. When you understand his emotional rhythms, you don't fight the flow, you flow with it. That's how attraction deepens into trust, and trust blossoms into lasting love. So my friends, let your awareness be your superpower. Be the calm in his storm, the anchor he never knew he needed. Because when you do, you don't just hold his attention, you hold his heart. Stay with me because next we're unlocking how showing genuine desire keeps that fire alive and pulls him closer like never before. The best is yet to come. Number 5, desire. Show him you want him, not just the idea of him. A man's deepest hunger isn't just for touch, it's for feeling wanted, truly wanted, beyond the surface. That's the kind of truth that can transform your relationship, my friends. Desire isn't a one-dimensional spark, it's an electric current flowing through emotional, mental, and spiritual channels. It's not about being there because you have to be. It's about showing him that you want him, not just tolerate his presence. Carl Jung reminds us that love transcends the body. It's the dance of connection and longing that keeps two souls entwined. Picture desire like a flame. If you only feed it once in a while, it flickers weakly, vulnerable to the slightest gust. But when you nurture it with affection, playful energy, genuine compliments, and authentic attraction, it grows into a steady blaze that warms everything around it. That's the difference between a relationship that fizzles and one that burns bright long after the honeymoon phase. You might be thinking, but I'm with him already. Isn't desire supposed to just happen naturally? The reality is, desire needs attention, care, and intentionality. It's not a given, it's a gift you cultivate. Jung's wisdom helps us understand that desire is as much about the mind and soul as it is about the body. It's the unspoken "I see you," the lingering glance, the subtle touch that says, "You matter to me." That energy, that attention, that's what keeps passion alive and keeps him falling deeper. Or maybe you've just met and you want to build a connection that doesn't fade after the first few encounters. Desire is your secret weapon. It's the spark that invites curiosity and fuels anticipation. Show him through your laughter, your lightness, your eagerness to be near him, not desperation, but genuine attraction. When he feels wanted in that way, it awakens a primal response that pulls him closer every time. It's easy to fall into the trap of tolerating or settling, going through the motions without really showing up. But that's a slow death for desire. Men can sense when they're just part of your routine versus when they're truly desired. It's not about grand gestures or constant validation. It's about the authentic, consistent energy you give that says, "I want you, here and now, with all that you are." Think of desire as a conversation between two souls. It's not just about what you say or do, but how you make him feel seen, wanted, and alive. When desire flows naturally, it becomes a magnetic force, drawing him in deeper, making him want to know every part of you. And so, my friends, let your desire be a living flame. Show him you want him, not just the idea of him, not just the comfort of his presence, but his whole self. Because when you do, you don't just keep passion alive, you ignite a fire that burns stronger with every day. Stay with me, because next we're going to explore how loyalty isn't just a word, but a powerful vibe that makes him feel secure enough to fall completely and without doubt. The journey to deep love continues. Number 6, loyalty, more than a word, it's a vibe. Loyalty isn't just a word, it's a vibe, a frequency that surrounds and protects love like a fortress. That's the kind of power that keeps a man rooted, my friends. Carl Jung spoke deeply about the human need for security, especially in relationships. Men don't just crave physical connection, they crave the certainty that you're all in, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. That kind of loyalty is the bedrock on which deep love is built. Imagine loyalty as the walls of a fortress, not cold or confining, but strong and welcoming. When a man feels your loyalty, he's not walking on shaky ground. He's standing on firm earth, knowing that no matter the storms, you're the shelter he can come home to. That security gives him the freedom to open up, to invest fully, and to love without fear. You might be asking, but how do I show loyalty without losing myself or feeling trapped? That's a crucial question because loyalty isn't about control, restriction, or blind submission. It's about commitment and respect for him, for yourself, and for the relationship you're building together. Jung teaches us that authentic loyalty grows from a place of self-awareness and mutual honor. It's not about clinging or losing your identity. It's about standing side by side with integrity. Maybe you've seen relationships crumble because one partner felt uncertain, questioning if the other was truly in it. That doubt breeds distance and hesitation. When a man senses unwavering loyalty from you, it silences that fear. He stops wandering mentally and emotionally because he knows you're a constant, not a question mark. Think about the times you felt truly safe in a relationship. What made that space feel sacred? Most likely it was the unspoken promise of loyalty, that you were both committed not just in words, but in actions, in presence, in how you face challenges together. That's the vibe men long for. When you embody that, you become his refuge, his anchor, and his reason to stay. Loyalty also means protecting what you have. It means not entertaining doubts or distractions that pull you away from the bond you share. When you guard your relationship with respect and fidelity, you send a powerful message that you value this love above all else. That message is magnetic. It calls him to deepen his own commitment and to cherish you like the rare treasure you are. So here's your charge. Cultivate loyalty as a living, breathing energy. Stand firm in your commitment, honor your worth, and nurture the security that makes love thrive. When a man feels your loyalty in this way, he doesn't just stay, he chooses you over and over with his whole heart. Stay with me because next we're going to explore the transformative power of vulnerability, the courage to be real that unlocks love at its deepest level. This journey is far from over. Number 7, vulnerability, the gateway to deep connection. Vulnerability isn't a crack in your armor, it's the gateway to a connection that runs deeper than surface attraction. That's a truth many shy away from, but it's the secret to love that lasts, my friends. Carl Jung said, "The walls you build to protect yourself also block your blessings." When you guard your heart too fiercely, you're not just keeping pain out, you're keeping joy, intimacy, and profound connection at bay. But when you dare to be real, showing your fears, dreams, and imperfections, you open a door that few women have the courage to unlock. Imagine vulnerability like the opening of a flower. At first, the petals are tightly closed, shielding the delicate heart within. But as the flower unfolds, it reveals its true beauty, soft, raw, and breathtaking. That unfolding is what vulnerability does in relationships. It shows him the real you, not just the polished version or the role you think he wants. And in that raw authenticity, he finds something magnetic, something worth falling deeply for. You might be thinking, but what if he uses my vulnerability against me? What if showing my fears and flaws pushes him away? That fear is natural and valid, but here's the flip side. Hiding your true self creates distance. When you keep him at arm's length, he can never truly know you, and without that knowing, love stays shallow. Jung's wisdom reminds us that true healing and connection come from facing ourselves honestly, and inviting someone else into that space is where love truly begins. Vulnerability is not about oversharing or being needy. It's about courageous openness. It's the willingness to let him see the real you, even the parts you're still healing, the parts you fear might not be enough. And when you show that kind of bravery, you invite him to lower his own walls. He feels safe enough to be real with you too, and that mutual openness deepens the bond beyond anything surface level. Think of vulnerability as the bridge between two souls, a passage that requires trust, patience, and courage to cross. But once crossed, it leads to a place where both of you can be seen, heard, and loved completely. That's the connection men crave but rarely find. When you become that woman, you don't just capture his attention, you capture his heart. And so, my friends, embrace your vulnerability. Let your true self shine through the fears, the dreams, the imperfect beauty that makes you uniquely you. Because when you do, you open the door to a love that's real, deep, and enduring. Stay with me, because next, we're diving into the ultimate secret, the way owning your radiant self-love keeps him coming back for a lifetime. The best is yet to come. As we wrap up, remember this: deep, lasting love isn't built on fleeting moments. It's forged through presence, honesty, loyalty, and vulnerability. When you own your power and show up as your authentic self, you become irresistible in ways that go far beyond the physical. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with the women ready to transform their relationships. Together, we're stepping into a new level of magnetic love. Stay grounded, stay radiant, and I'll see you in the next one.